gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the FiveMarks Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Martin115. That actually didn't start. It was loading. Fuck. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Five. Fuck it. The intro's done. Who cares a fuck? YouTube. My software messed up, but that's on you guys. Shame on you. Welcome to the first episode of the FiveMarks Pro Wrestling Podcast in 2024. This feels extremely weird because it has literally been, what, 4 weeks?
4 weeks.
4 weeks? 4 weeks since our last episode, where we went from doing weekly episodes, literally, to just not having anything to do. As I said, I'm your host, as always, Mr. Martin15, joined by my lovely dance partner.
How we doing, everybody? Happy New Year. Welcome to 2024. We are back, live in living colour. And welcome back for another week.
I was expecting you to say welcome back for the first week.
No. I can't change it. And it's just another week.
To you, maybe. And as we said in the new year, there were big plans coming with the FiveMarks. And, well, we already announced it on our social medias. If you haven't seen it already, tough shit. That's the end of the episode now, so thank you all for listening. If you haven't seen it, we have another show coming on to Spotify and YouTube. The FiveMarks Wrestling Controversies. Joining us today is one of the hosts, the currently ranked number one person to get cancelled from the show. We are joined by Mr. Tony.
How are we, everyone? Happy New Year.
So, you're going to be on that new show now.
We're hoping not to get cancelled. See how far into the year we make it.
So, before we get anywhere, because obviously, if people don't know, by the way, by the time this comes out, there's already 2 episodes of Wrestling Controversies, Weekly Controversies, already up on 2 on Spotify, 1 on YouTube, so go check those out. First episode is a complete introduction. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, but there's someone joining us right now. Gotta wait for him to
and
connect
it's
now.
not Emmett.
Does Emmett even exist anymore?
No.
That's a good question. Can
We get Mulder and Scully on that one.
Yeah, if someone finds him, please send us a picture just to make sure he's alright.
Well, look who it is.
Hello, everybody.
I'm not this bollock.
Golden One himself.
How are we doing?
He shows up on his time. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the new overlay made yet, so you are not on the YouTube side, but people can still hear you. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us is Mr. Robert Gold.
Evening, folks. I hope we're keeping well.
So, just so you know, we literally just started like 3 minutes ago, so you've missed absolutely zero. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me once again.
And I know we already announced this, like you're already part of the FiveMarks, but again, another new member of the FiveMarks.
Again, always a pleasure.
Which we'll have some news on what he'll be doing a little later on.
We're really clown at the end of the barrel, aren't we?
Yeah. We're looking at what the lowest of Irish wrestling is and just going, yeah, we'll help those guys out. We'll give them the rub, the FiveMarks rub.
Our goal is to give you about 4 weeks to get up to scratch, and then myself and Mark are going to bounce him. We'll just go and leave him.
We've built all this just to make all the fucking riches off it.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
The name on the contract.
Right, you guys do the work. We're going to sit back and just, it's all you guys now. You do all the hard work. Fuck this.
Here, we started it from here. We're fucking off. Come
on. We carry 2023 now. We carry 2023. Now it's time for other people to fucking carry this podcast. But we are here today for the episode that we talked about before we ended 2023, and that is our best of 2023 episode. So, I believe everyone has their list and stuff. But before we get into that, Carmo, is there any stuff that you would like to talk about? I mean, just like wrestling stuff?
That's a good question. It's a question I don't necessarily have an answer to. But as we're here, I know we are 2 weeks out, maybe a week out. I'm not 100% sure. We do have the Local Rumble coming up for OTT on January 20th.
Nearly a week.
It was announced that, unfortunately, the World title match has changed. It is now Sammy D against Flash Morgan Webster, I believe it is.
Yep.
I always get
Again,
mixed up between him and Mark
after
Andrews.
being said, go to your own locker room and find an Irish talent. We get a
look.
non-Irish talent.
Look, we're going to leave that up to the
Weekly
wrestling
controversy.
controversies later on in the week.
FiveMarks. That's
And
leave that to those weekly controversies, lad. They can take all the trouble on that one.
Yeah, we're going to leave that to them.
in fact, like there might be an episode up right now that people should go check out on. I don't want to say what it is, just in case plans fall through, but just go check it out if it's up, because you'll hear more about the story.
100%. I think it's actually, I think it's cute. Look, it's unfortunate that Trent obviously fell off. We're just going to talk about it briefly. I'm going to leave majority of it to the lads, but just to give our 2 cents. I think it's unfortunate that Trent obviously can't do it. I don't think there's any kind of confirmation of whether we're going to see Trent again or not. I would see the likelihood of not, maybe like a 1 or 2 special appearances throughout the year. But for me to be replaced by Flash Morgan Webster would have been really, really cool for one of the younger lads to get a spot. The likes of Keane Noonan, Boots, Matthew Smith, even a Max Guinness, Fabulous Nicky, Sam, Josh, anyone. But it's really, really cool to see Flash Morgan Webster. It's my first time seeing him, I think, live. We had Mark Andrews in RCW last year. We had Danny Luna in RCW last year. So now we're getting to see the third person of Subculture. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's a little bit disappointing. But Martin and Rob, I'm going to go to your opinions. And Tony, I'm going to leave you alone for this one because I know you're going to be talking about it later on in the week.
What's your goal if you go first?
Yeah, to be honest, it's a hard one to digest in a sense, because obviously, you talk about, how that, Trent's been, more or less, OTT up until of late, but obviously, we know what, part of what's possibly happened there. But as I say, we'll not go into too much in case there's something else. But as I say, my 2 cents is I think that he will be back at some point, but the question is, will it be this year or will it be late into 2025? Is the question, I think. But yeah,
I mean, like TNA came calling. It's a bit like the whole John Moxley thing. So, like, I don't know. Like, it is what it is. I kind of had a feeling the match somehow wasn't going to happen after Sam's promo at the Christmas show. So, look, it is what it is. I've really got no opinion on this. One thing we should talk about, though, because I don't think we did on the episode, was the Christmas shows.
That's true. We're going to leave that to you because I wasn't at them.
I know, right? Imagine not being at them. I thought the OTC Christmas show was actually a fucking grand show.
Yeah, they were really good shows.
Like, you had the Rascals, who, by the way, the fucking pop they got when they fucking came out was fucking massive. Enzo, who is probably the most out of place import so far, in my opinion. Like, I don't know, I don't care for Enzo, but like, it really, I don't know. Like, he came in, took bumps, and left. He'd had no offense. Zero. Not one move by Enzo was done other than a bump. I'll let you go on, Tony.
Yeah, the best part of Enzo Dublin was his mic skills.
Yeah.
I don't think JB was ready for them mic skills. He was verbally put to rest. His career was verbally ended.
We'll never see JB in BDE again. I think I heard that Josh had like just kicked him out because of that. Like
he was bittersweet over the whole interaction.
And the guys, I will say, had me for like a split second. I thought we were gonna get a surprise appearance of W Morrissey, Big Cass, Big Bill, whatever you want to call him. When he was, because like Enzo was heavy teasing and it goes Big Demo, and I was like, you fucking prick. But I thought the OTC Christmas show was super, super fun. One person that I'll talk about later on that really stood out for me was Santos. I thought he was like, just like him and Sam's match was super fucking good. The ladder match, I feel like I had hyped the ladder match up far too much for myself, where I felt it under-delivered. If that makes sense. Like, I think I put far too much hype on it because I thought the rivalry was great, which it was. And the ladder match by no means was bad at all. But I feel like I just hyped it up far too much for myself. So it just, like, I was like, Tony, what you think of the ladder match?
I think Martina still nursing the injury
Yeah.
because she was talking to wrestling on it, but she did show us prior to that, and probably it probably didn't heal as well as it should have.
One thing that nobody knows, I know simply because she told me in RCW, she actually re-injured it while training. She was training the week prior, so the week of the RCW show, she was training the week prior.
It was
Re-injured
before
it.
Hard Knocks anyway.
Yeah.
I know it was before Hard Knocks because she said it at Hard Knocks as well.
She re-injured it, and like for that entire time, like she just did nothing. As in, like she did no training, no running, no nothing. She just nursed the injury so that it could be good enough for her to do that match. So,
I have a question for you on that ladder match, and it slightly controversial. Speaking on point, were you happy with the result?
no,
I wasn't.
I was. I thought Debbie needed it more.
I think I agree. I think Debbie needed it more.
Why, Carmel?
Yeah.
No, the only reason I was asking is because we debated it on a couple of episodes. I know it was kind of coming up towards the 8th anniversary when we did that big episode with everybody. We kind of debated it around then about who should win, who should lose, and so on and so forth. So that's all I was kind of interested in. For me, it didn't necessarily bother me which way it went. I'm more interested in what they go from here.
Yeah.
Because that was a year-long story. Where do you go from that? But I just wanted to know your kind of opinions. I know the two of you were at the show. Rob, I don't believe you were at the Christmas show.
No, not the Dublin one, but the Belfast one. But
Yeah. That's why I was just interested. What did you think it was a good result, or whether it should have gone to Debbie?
I was happy either way. Like, because the rivalry to me was just like it was so good. But there is like that part of me that's like Debbie should have won. Debbie definitely needed it. I feel like the gals themselves needed it to just solidify the group. Because then like I think like so with Martina, it's like where do you go with Martina from here now? Because like they could go the Anita Vaughan route, but I don't think that OTT wise she's like at that level yet. Because again, fairly like she's not new to OTT, but now she's starting to get something. She's new to the story.
Yeah.
Corey Zero is a fucking face. You don't want that. I don't see Lizzie Evo come back for a while. Do you know? So it's where do you go? With Debbie?
There is so many UK talent, female talent that are out there. Like we've seen Rio make her RCW debut. As you mentioned, Lizzie Evo, you've Minnie McKenzie, and you've a couple more there as well that I don't feel are being as utilised by OTT as the likes of, as we've seen, like Robbie X, man, like the Reeds, those kind of people, that maybe they should be kind of brought in a little bit more over the next year.
I don't know. I feel like that the whole division itself is just like super frustrating because like.
Then what do you do with Debbie? Because you've Martina got a feud with someone else, and you'll have Debbie there doing wherever they're going to throw her till they find something to do with her. Like
unless she goes for like a GN title, Debbie.
Yeah.
Might beat all 4 or 5 or Slim.
Yeah. I mean, that's an option. She could go for that the GN title, or Anita can go for it. I feel like there should be a Corey Zero rivalry coming towards Debbie, because all the stuff that went with the gals. So that's something. But then again, it's where I'm interested to see where we're going with Martina. I'm like it's who's going to step up to her. Do you know?
Yeah.
Bring Raven Creed back, who's still owed a fucking rematch for the title because her match ended. I'm pretty sure that DQ. So it's where do we go from here?
Yeah. Look, I'm going to cut back and I'm going to talk about the Rumble again. I want to get predictions from all of you, even just one or two predictions on the Rumble. Rob, I'm going to start with you.
This is a tough one to call because we've only heard of so many ones that have actually been announced for it, and now with the announcement that tag teams can enter as one now, which is making it more interesting as well now. So you throw that into the mix.
It means that we're going to have like 40 people in this Rumble.
Yeah, easily. And it's going to, like, it is anybody's game right now. With this, so it's really hard. without really knowing who's in it, you can't really put your money on anyone who's actually going to be in it. I would like to see Santos be in it and win it. I'm not going to lie. I think 2024 is going to be huge for him. And that, okay, yes, he's not an Irish talent, but I think he's a talent, to keep an eye out for this year. But other than that, the likes of Jay potentially, if he's going to be in the Rumble match as well, if they're going to enter in as one, be cool on Jay.
Oh God, please don't.
Well, you could actually have one as Be Cool, Sterling, and Maxton. They could all enter as one.
That's more faction than team, really.
So does that mean that the Kings of the North will be number 30 and not just Corbin?
Well, no, because he actually he left Kings of the North.
He still has the Kings of the North Titantron though.
Yeah, that's true. And doesn't he know about that?
It's still him and him and Bounce are in the Titantron.
Yeah.
Who you got? Who's your money on, Tony?
I had this chat with Dane, and when I told him he choice, Dane at first was shocked, then agreed with me. I think this is the year with Danny Frost. I think Danny Frost is going to win it.
I like that. That's a safe pick as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the names when Trent dipped out, I said he should have got the world title match. So I know he didn't. I'm not betting against Corbin.
Yeah,
but
no means I'm betting against Corbin. But but
I think I honest to God think Corbin's going to win it, and I honest to God feel like the main event for the first time will not be in Dublin, and it will be in Belfast. So, Carmo.
The fact that teams are entering as one, I think it's going to be hard to look past O'Mara and Scotty Davis.
Ooh,
they've been a dominating tag team throughout the division since they formed middle of the year.
What happens
I think it's
1-on-1? Like, is it a tag team can win or a tag team just
no,
comes out together?
Tag team can enter together, but one of them wins. So there's a fair chance that it could come down to like Barry Davis and they fight each other for the win.
So if you're in multiple tag teams, can you enter more than once?
This was the debate, apparently not.
The reason I'm asking that is because we've already seen Nikki tweet out a response to Captain Sexy being in the Logo Rumble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So is he going to
go on?
Would he enter as with Sexy, with Captain Sexy, or will he enter in with Josh?
He could enter in with CJ West as well.
I was just going to say it, Joe.
Yeah.
Come out with
it makes it interesting. It gives that extra element that's like different to a normal Royal Rumble. Because like we all watched the WWE Royal Rumble, and you see number 12 is Kofi Kingston, number 15 is Xavier Woods, and number 8 is Big E. But you're wasting those 3 spots on one team.
Yeah.
Because the fact that a whole team can enter in one spot it just, I don't know, it adds that little element to it.
It makes it interesting. Really cool. It means there's 30 numbers, but there's not 30 competitors.
Exactly. No. We could have 50, 60 people in this match. We don't know. But there's 30 numbers.
This is going to be the greatest Royal Rumble in history. The biggest one.
It has the opportunity to be.
Some crack when they need the bomb wins it.
Oh, the Saviors. Oh, yeah. I'd take that.
Yeah, she got tossed out. And then out comes the Saviors. Oh, here comes Anita.
Could happen.
I can't wait for like the NWO to enter as well. The entire NWO, like
imagine
70 odd fucking
88 members.
Fucking happy days for that. Here's one for you guys. Who is one surprise you'd love to see in that Rumble?
Terry Thatcher.
Ooh, straight the bat.
It's a good one.
Tony.
Rocky Mac.
A great one.
Carmo.
Actually, seeing you're saying teams, the Wards, Luther Ward and Rocky Mac.
Oh,
that'd be insane. That'd be absolutely. Could you imagine a Ward versus Draw feud?
The King of all men make a comeback.
Could you imagine booking yourself to win your own Rumble?
That'd be beautiful.
You'd be all how we do it.
For me, as a surprise, I would love to see like a Steve Savage.
Ah, you took mine, you fucker!
I'll rewind. Stepper Manos.
I wouldn't put it past Axel being in there because Axel's been seeing more than Gala.
Yeah.
You gotta have Step Bananas. I Galacini.
I mean, look at the last Hard Knock show.
Nothing shouts local rumble like Galacini.
Anything fucking shouts.
He's always at the shows because he's always banding a boot in the back.
Yeah, true. Actually,
the funniest thing I've ever seen to this day is John Moxley having Galacini as a security guard.
Yeah.
Kenta.
Oh, it was Kenta. Like, that's still the funniest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, Steve Savage was mine. I'd love for Steve to be back in OTT, or even the detachment themselves.
Yeah.
Obviously, outside of Noah Walker.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Is there an import that we haven't seen in a while that you'd like to see come back?
There was one I had in my head, and I don't know if he was booked for somewhere else or not on this date, but it was in my head. Scotty Too Hotty, even though he was not at one recently ago, I think this would be quite ideal, to happen. Royal Rumble, doing the worm, giving the crowd something to cheer about.
There is really cool. One, and he promised us one more appearance before he went off to the States.
Yeah, I wonder who that is.
Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. Imagine the reaction for Ospreay.
Again, he wants the stadium, though.
Yeah.
But he could win the Rumble and go face Sammy in the main event of the stadium.
Oh, true!
I said this a couple of weeks ago, and I think it's perfectly plausible.
I mean, I know it's not possible, but like a great import to have come in would be like LJ Cleary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was going to happen, but now that he's gone back to Japan, I think.
Yeah.
If he had had a few weeks ago, it would have been possible. All right.
Yeah.
Hell, if it had been a few weeks ago, he could have even had a few of the Irish superstars pop up in it because they were over visiting family for the Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because there's somebody owes us an appearance, as I believe.
Oh, that's right, Rob. Someone promised us at the 2022 Christmas party an appearance. And we haven't.
Never fucking showed up, the bastard.
Could you imagine?
That's one of the reasons. See, whenever Jay done his entrance at the stadium show,
fucking prick.
I listened to that. I was like, no.
So I missed that because I was outside trying to get Trent Seven to sign me NXT Blackpool poster, but he was too busy reminiscing with the grizzled young vets about being in the crowd before COVID that I missed Jay's entrance.
I'll never fucking forget it. Being like ready, and I was like, oh, and then fucking Kingslayer plays. I'm like, you fucking prick.
Yeah.
I was out of my chair and everything. I was ready to go. And it was that moment as well because it was like, oh shit, it's only Jay. And then you're kind of like, wait, it's Jay. I like that.
There's that moment of, you prick. I can't stay mad at you.
Yeah. For import to the Rumble, I think Mark Haskins is a decent noise.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
One I'd like to see back. There's two really. One is definitely not going to happen. The other might happen. One is Swerve.
Yeah.
Swerve would be pretty cool. And the other is RVD.
So I assume Swerve is the one that's not going to happen, and RVD is the possible one.
Yeah.
I mean, if Swerve comes out, I'm doing the fucking dance. Like, I'll run up to the ring. I'll be his fucking what's his name, Prince Nana. I will walk up and just go.
There's no one even selling ringside tickets at me now because they sold out too fast. I only got a general admission.
They sell.
So did he.
I mean,
I think that front row isn't going to be front row at the Local Rumble.
We got lucky. Emma got there quick. Bought us tickets as Christmas present. All going well. I should be there. If not, if I can't get there, I'll give the ticket to you, Tony.
That's it. I'll be Martin that night.
Yeah, I'm Martin from the FiveMarks. Yeah, I'm Martin from the FiveMarks.
He's Squidward. I'm Squidward.
We're all Squidward. Hey, Squidward. Yeah. But the Local Rumble will be fucking interesting. I know Carmo said it many times, but like as we get closer, like the possibility of Will, because I think he's back in the UK now for a while. No, he's not. He's in the US.
One more show.
He's in the US next week, and then I think he's back in the UK for a Rev Pro. And
he's AEW for February.
Rev Pro's in February.
He said February in his promo. He'd be back for AEW.
Yeah, because he finishes up in New Japan on February 11th, with the
Riff Rose February 18th because I'm going to that show.
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully he's back in the UK. He can show up because that'd be class. But we'll move on. We'll talk about the Rumble again after the Rumble happens because there's obviously so much that could happen in that time. We also have the tag titles on the line that night. I don't think anything else has been announced for that show. But
I don't believe so.
Carmo, I love giving you the duties of somewhat hosting this type of show every year, so you get to keep it up.
Right, let's do it. So we've decided
actually,
for
as well,
this
sorry, just for the listeners, the giveaway, we're announcing the winner after all this, just so people aren't going like, "What the fuck's the giveaway?" After this,
and the winner is me. No, I'm only joking.
that's like the old Punk Raw opening, and the winner was me.
Yeah. So we're here basically to talk about. It's kind of like I wouldn't call it like an award show, but I've given the lads categories of like best wrestler, best female wrestler, best moment of the year, feud of the year, stuff like that. So we're going to do a double. We're going to do an Irish version of every one of those. And then the way I have it worded is outside. So it can be WWE, AEW, it can be British wrestling, it can be New Japan, it can be whatever you want. And I'm going to list out a couple of categories. I'm going to go around to the boys and we're all going to give our answers. And it might spark a little bit of a debate between us. Who knows?
That's what we're here for.
That's as long as none of your answers are step mottos.
As long as there's no controversy, because that's for the other show, we're all good.
Yeah,
true, actually. Fair. But as we go through, if there's any that you disagree with us with, or you want to leave yours,
it's our opinion. Fuck you.
Leave it in the comments on the YouTube or on the Instagram, whichever you prefer. And we'll try and reply to them. We might even mention them on next week's show.
This podcast is
so look, I'm going to start with promotion of the year. And I'm going to start with outside of Irish wrestling.
How the fuck did I miss that question?
I didn't get that one. That wasn't the list
you that gave that question.
Was it me? Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was actually
I have my two anyways, straight off the bat. I can already name them.
So while we're waiting for Tony to get his, Rob, do you have your promotion of the year?
Promotion of the year. So this
is outside of Irish wrestling first.
So outside of Irish wrestling. So as I say, normally for me, WWE is my go-to because obviously that's what I watch sort of, vigorously. AEW's come a long way over the past couple of years. Sellout show at Wembley, as we all know. But I would honestly have to stick with WWE at the minute because that's, like as I say, that's my go-to. They've had so many good matches this year, whether it's been on Raw, SmackDown, the PLEs. But yeah, but don't get me wrong, AEW have had some matches themselves as well and that. But I would say WWE all from 2023 through has been my one outside of Irish wrestling. Now, with Irish wrestling, this was a tougher one than I expected because of how good the shows were. So I'm going to give this one to Hard Knocks Pro Wrestling.
The boys.
Because they put on show after show after show and they just keep topping it. And the more people get eyes on this, the better. Because it just improves every time. And I don't know how to do it, but they just manage to improve it every show.
Absolutely. Martin.
So my outside promotion, 100%. Look, if this was if I watched more New Japan, it probably would have been New Japan. For a guaranteed fact, it is not AEW because I don't know. I feel.
Don't just keep going. I don't want to hear it again. Keep going.
I want to go different to Rob. I was going to say WWE, but I'm going to go with Impact Wrestling because they're kind of my runner-up because I feel like I feel like Impact is like really come along in the not even last year. Like they really started during the pandemic and have just gone on this massive fucking wave of just banger after banger fucking shows and pay-per-views. So
they're not Impact anymore.
They're Impact in 2023. TNA Wrestling now. Which,
still have a couple of days left.
By the way, the new fucking titles. Oh, that X Division titles are fucking
I'm waiting to see what the world title looks like.
Oh. So
I'm hoping we get an 07 feel off it. 07 feel.
Tony,
So outside, it has to be WWE. Seeing this will have the impact on me. It's my second choice, WWE. Because they've just come leaps and bounds. Might have something to do with the change of management. I don't know. But they've come leaps and bounds, and they've had multiple good matches and good storylines throughout 2023.
yeah.
And then they've only been to 2 promotions last year inside of Ireland, and that was Five Factory and OTT. And I probably have to give it to OTT on rest of them because they've had the better matches. But shout out to Five Factory; they're doing great things down there.
They had a great year last year. In fairness, a very, very good year.
Really good year.
They've had a lot of random show ups that you wouldn't expect to show up in a little factory, but
Fucking Eric Rowan was the most random for me.
No, the most random for me was a bear. How they managed to get a bear into that room, I'll never know.
yeah.
I missed that one. I heard there was a bear there, though. Was it a cocaine bear?
It was. It's okay. My promotion outside of Irish wrestling, it's a bit of a cop out, but it's NXT.
So WWE.
I feel like where NXT has come from since through COVID and stuff like that, I feel like since Sean has taken it over, I think it's come on leaps and bounds. And some of the talent and stuff coming out of NXT at the moment are unbelievable. Like with Carmelo Hayes, Ilya Dragunov, Tyler Bates, stuff like that. Lyra Valkyria, one of our own.
Even the people like Corbin going back. Corbin, I feel like, has been like his fucking best in a long time.
Yeah,
I get a lot of hate because I love Corbin, and I think Corbin is world champion material. He's just not given the chance to do it. They treat him like dog shit. So I'm loving the fact that now we're getting him in the Dusty Classic with Braun Breaker. I think they're the team to watch.
I feel like people thought that Corbin Braun Breaker was going to be this absolute just shit match, and it was probably the best match on that fucking card. It was so. It's just started off so fucking well. It just continued to go. Sorry, Cameron. I took your light away from you.
You're good. That was kind of that's kind of my point, really. For Irish promotion, I know, Martin, you haven't said yours yet, so I'm going to go back to you in a minute.
Oh, did I not say mine? Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. It's Hard Knocks. For Hard Knocks to be in its first year, I know it started in November 12 months ago. To be Hard Knocks in its first year, and for the content, for the stylist or the sort of stuff that they was putting out in that first year is just off the hook incredible. It's so good. So, and that's not like RCW had a great year.
Yeah.
OTT had a great year. Fight Factory had a fantastic year. But I for me, just Hard Knocks. It's probably a little bit of bias in me. But Hard Knocks had a phenomenal
it's the
year.
same for me. Hard Knocks. And then like Rob,
show. It's just they do their shows on a Sunday, and I work the Monday. My boss won't give me every Monday off, unfortunately.
Yeah, and as well, like for you guys to travel fucking all the way back is like it's like a day out for you guys, you know.
Yeah.
So, but no, like again, like Rob has no like bias side of it because like his closest shows are like Titanic and stuff, and the Belfast OTT shows. He comes down to Hard Knocks, and like Hard Knocks is his favorite promotion. You know, it's just no disrespect to the companies. They've all like this year has been great for Irish wrestling. You know, RCW have been on a fucking roll since Hooked on the Feeling. But Hard Knocks has been on a roll since its first fucking show. It has just constantly put on these absolutely amazing shows. So even for me, it's Hard Knocks. I mean, like, you just think of the shows, like all of them this year alone. The first one was Unbroken, which was straight off the bat, first show of the year. That was my favorite show for a very long time. No reason in particular. Undisputed, another banger. Hard Luck, which, oh my god. The Celebration show, the one that nobody will ever see then, Unmatched, which was it was literally, and I'm not even joking, this close to beating Hard Luck for their best show of the year. So, you know, they have just, without fail, put on these absolute banger shows in this small little place that I cannot wait for the day that they outgrow Dolan's. Not that I wanted to. I love Dolan's, but I want them to do so fucking well.
100%. We're going to move on to our next category, which is, do you know what? We'll go Rookie of the Year.
Oh,
and I'm going to start first. So my rookie of the year for outside of Irish wrestling is Obafemi, who recently won the NXT Breakout.
NXT Breakout,
yeah. I really like him. I'll be interested to see what he kind of does throughout 2024. I think he's had a decent enough year in 2023, maybe towards the latter half, all right. For Irish wrestling, it has to be one man, and that's Keane Galacini. For a man who made his debut, who wrestled his first match.
We're doing this already.
For a man who wrestled his first match in February, for what he's done throughout the year of 2023, is absolutely incredible.
Do you guys want to see what he did to me? Okay, this was at RCW, so we were done recording. All right, look what this man gave me for Christmas. Hold on, 1 second. Look what this man gave me for Christmas.
Whatever it is, it's deserved. It's deserved.
You think, oh look, he got me a Christmas card. How fucking nice! Joe, what a nice gesture. He called me a fucking gomy.
But on
You're a
social,
gomy.
it's true.
Love Galacini and Axel.
You are a gomy, so it's true. You can't hear me. He's on headphones on, so it's fine. But you are a gomy.
Yeah. Fucking prick. That's all I'm gonna say.
Do you know what? I wasn't going to do it. How much you pay for that card?
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, my rookie of the year is King Galacini, and I think it's going to be a phenomenal 2024 for the Stepper Madons. Tony,
I was gonna say pick someone.
I forgot what I was doing.
So my rookie of the year has to be Limo.
Yeah, good show, actually.
Good show.
I think Limo had an outstanding year last year, and he's just gotten over so well with the fans. Everyone just gets behind him and he comes out and he can take a beating.
I just beat him.
I've never seen a man just get shopped as much in all my life since Terry Thatcher.
Just look, like last show he beat O'Mari. Like that's a huge.
Which we all love. We all cheer that.
He's
More
what?
that Limo.
He's what, €10,000 richer now? I think it was up to 10. I can't remember what the prize money was. No, 100%. Like that's a fucking great show. That's not even someone I fucking thought of. Who for outside?
I couldn't think of anyone for the outside.
I was having this trouble as well.
I'm still
Couldn't
having
think
this
of
trouble.
anyone.
Rob.
So, don't hate me for this one. So rookie of the year for the Irish scene. I've only seen him a few times, and that, but I think he could have a big 2024, and he's a part of Hard Knocks, and that's Robbie Mack.
Oh fuck!
Interesting. Oh, Robbie,
Of all the fucking people you could say.
Robbie, do not be texting us. We don't care. Get over it.
Do you realize what you have done? That man's ego has gone higher than mine.
We're not going to hear the end of this. Not at all. Like,
and again, but for the non Irish side of the rookie of the year, again, really, really hard. And if I'm honest, from Carmo mentioning Obafemi, I thought watching him in NXT, he's proven really, 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 really good. But he's the only one that's really sort of stand out to me who you could really name as rookie of the year that you've really seen that's outside of the Irish scene, that I've seen. So I'm a big old Carmo's one at the moment because that's really hard to go for at the minute.
There's a guy wrestling in AEW as well at the moment. I can't think of his name, but he only kind of debuted. I think he debuted last November, December, and around then. He's had an incredible year as well. I can't think of his name, but it was between the two of them, and I just went for Obafemi. Martin.
So outside, I have nobody because I couldn't think of a fucking soul. I looked at the Impact roster, the WWE, the AEW, and I was like, no one has really stood out to me this year who is new. I was gonna do Trick Williams, but he's not like. I would say this was his rookie year as a solo star, but it's not his rookie year, so I just left him off. But for Irish wrestling, so I'm gonna give this was hard because it was between two people. I'm gonna give a special shout out and a honorable mention to the man who I was just trying to decide between, who isn't my rookie of the year, but Francis Mercer has had an incredible year. I have also jotted down here, which is actually hilarious that you said it. Fuck Robbie Mack. Not even lying. That's written down here.
We love you, really, Robbie.
What did I miss? He hates Galacini and he hates Robbie Mack. What is going on?
The Robbie
He
Mack.
just doesn't like Hard Knocks.
Robbie Mack is a different situation. Galacini is just a dick.
Give the wheels.
Galacini is just a dick to me, and Robbie Mack is just a whole different thing. But my rookie of the year is Big Boots Murphy.
Yeah.
First,
We're all winning the show.
He had a good year.
Same Josh, Boots, Keane, all those guys were all winning a shout for Rookie of the Year this year. All of them, every single
the
one.
only reason the other guys didn't get it is because they're coming up later.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which I was so happy about. I was like, okay, they're all getting a shout out.
Yeah. Same.
That's 100% fair. Kind of moving on with that, kind of speaking on the rookie type thing. Most improved wrestler of 2023. John Martin, we'll go with you first.
So again, as I said, lovely little thing to be able to spread them all out. My Irish wrestler, most improved, and he's the dark horse of Irish wrestling, Cian Noonan. Just that boy is just, there's something, he's fucking special. He's so fucking special. He's so good to fucking watch. He's only just now getting on them like big OTT shows, the Belfast shows, the Dublin shows. So, we've seen how good he is in Hard Knocks. In Hard Knocks, he is our version of an import killer. So I can't wait to see what this year kind of brings out of him.
He's working Hard Knocks last year. He's working Hard Knocks last year is unmatched.
Yeah.
It is so good.
No pun intended.
Maybe a little pun.
Outside, now this is a person who I've watched all year round and kind of thought, he's all right, he's good, kind of kept my eye on him and stuff like that. But it wasn't until a recent show where I was just, I don't know, it just kind of clicked that night. But United Empire's Akira Francesco.
Yeah.
He is one of my most improved because I've watched him all year. Catch 22 team with TJ, and I don't know. As well, I feel like what really threw me over the edge because I watched the New Year Dash. I think it's New Year Dash. I think it's the thing it's called. I watched that 4-way that between Bullet Club and Empire, and like that match was just like really really fun until like it ended in DQ. But even just the promo afterwards of just like, I didn't ask for this. This is not what I wanted. Like, I'm going home. Just that, like, you just got that, like, actual fucking, like, that realness out of it, You got that realness out of the promo. So that just really threw me over the edge. I was like, yeah, I'm going with Akira. I wish we got to see him now at Wrestlorama.
Maybe next year. Or
Please.
maybe this year. Maybe we might get him over this year at some stage. Tony.
So, my most improved is also Cian Noonan.
Yeah.
He's just come leaps and bounds. His match against Robbie X. If you haven't seen it, you're missing out. Go watch Robbie X and Cian Noonan because it stole the show at that show anniversary weekend. In fact, I'll do you one better. It was probably the best match of the 3 shows that weekend.
Ooh.
Interesting, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Robbie would tell you the same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
From the get go, we just,
and you could see the fans behind Cian that night as well too. Well, that evening, should I say? And they got behind him. Got behind the sculpted one, and it's going to be a big year for him. Big year. And
at the end.
Again, I wouldn't be surprised if he was in the last 4 at the Rumble.
I think he could be one of the underdogs, one of the outsiders. I do.
So who's your outside most improved?
So outside, I've watched this person and she has improved unbelievable in 2023. From where they had her to now, I think is a complete change. Even on the mic, in ring, I have to go with Maxine Dupree.
Ooh.
It's a good shout,
That's a solid show. I think that's one that's one name nobody expected to be on anyone's list.
Thank you.
Yeah.
However, if you do ask Mansoor and Mace, they say that she's the worst of the year. So
they're somewhere in the Indies, so I believe.
Joe, please bring them to Ireland.
Please.
Yeah, please.
No, Joe, bring Aiden English to Ireland. I tagged it in the post. He liked the post. Aiden English wants to come to Ireland. Book Aiden English.
I mean, I fucking tweeted out for a what's his name, Kip Sabian versus Jay match fucking months ago. Jay liked it. Jay even not Jay.
Nia Brookside is back taking bookings. Book Nia Brookside again.
Yeah.
What's it? Kip liked it, and Kip actually said he'd love to fight the Kingslayer. So it's there.
So I'm happy with whoever you book. That's all I'm saying.
This is the FiveMarks putting their CV in to be the booking team for OTT going forward.
Oh yeah, if that's available, yeah, hire us, please. Now,
if anybody ever wants me on creative, please. Mostly Hard Knocks. Like
we can get Robert the Head and just a creative one.
I'm going to go next for my most improved wrestler. And the reason why is because my wrestler outside at Thank You is actually Chad Gable.
Oh, I can't wait for fucking Rob to say Otis now.
Yeah.
Oh, God, the pressure's on.
For the year that he had in 2022 and it kind of towards the end of 2022 into 2023, those matches with Gunther, unbelievable. The match at Mania, the big tag match that they had at Mania was just so good. And like what he's done throughout the years is unbelievable. And I do see a possible Intercontinental title reign in his future. Sure. I hope there is anyway.
Sure, I'm actually disappointed that neither one of you, if you're giving shout outs to Alpha Academy, not one of you put Akira Tozawa on your list.
It was the latter half of the year, and it's
yeah. Make your excuses now. Yeah,
it's true though. It came to my head. For Irish, CBL.
Good. Yeah. Good. Fair shout.
Yeah. Fair shout.
What he did in 2022 to where he became in 2023, becoming the Irish Junior Heavyweight Champion, and so on and so forth. His matches in Hard Knocks, his matches in Fight Factory are just incredible. And like he was kind of, I don't want to say like the word that came to my head. He was kind of floating around in 2022. He wasn't up to a whole point, and then to grab 2023 by the hair and just absolutely go through it was unbelievable. He had a fantastic year. So CBL is my most improved. Rob.
So I'm going to start with the most improved Irish one from my side. This man has had a phenomenal year so far in 2023. He goes by the name of Bittersweet Josh.
Good answer.
And because I think obviously considering where he came from debuting in 2022 towards the end of that, and then from growing from that sort of crop of superstars that were coming up through the ranks. And I thought, teaming up with Nikki and then JB with BDE and not having the GN championship and things like that. Again, I think 2024 could be a big year for him as well this year. But he would be my most improved of 2023. And non-Irish for most improved. So again, sort of going back from like late 2022, going into 2023, the most improved one has to be for me, L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Because so he's been so good on the mic. He's literally carried the WWE along with Roman Reigns the past sort of year or two, and to me, that means a lot. Carrying a company, even just with a microphone, even if, and his ring work is good as well, and definitely I think huge 2024 for the megastar that is L.A. Knight.
Yeah. Two good answers. Two really, really good answers. I like both of those. We're going to come back, or we're going to go move on to comeback of the year or return of the year.
Oh, thank God! So I got that right.
Yeah.
I was just
comeback.
I was trying to figure. Tony had mentioned, he was like, "What does this mean?" I was like, "I'm just going to assume it means return."
It could be a plethora of answers, like.
Yeah. No, return of the year. For mine, for outside of Irish wrestling, it was Carlito at Backlash.
Oh, okay. That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, Carlito at Backlash. I thought it was unbelievable. And the crowd reaction. In fact, you couldn't even hear his music. It was that loud in the arena. Yeah. Unbelievable. For Irish wrestling, be cool.
Fucking Mark. It's hilarious as well. Because, like, before like people really got to know you were the Be Cool guy. Because everyone saw that fucking clip of you going, oh!
That kind of says it all, really.
Again, like, pat in the back to me, I actually pushed and forced Carmo to go to that show. He
did.
didn't want to go.
You did.
So
Yeah, that's my two returns of the year. Tony.
For Irish wrestling, seeing this, I'm not going to copy you. I was going to say B, but I had a backup just in case. That backup was Mark Haskins.
Great!
That
shout.
was my honorable mention. Honorable
Great
mention.
shout. That return to wrestling was unbelievable.
Also for me, because he was introduced back as Skins, and everyone was like, "Who the fuck is Skins?"
Yeah.
What's
Then he walked out, and we are like, "Oh, never mind, it's Haskins. We're all happy."
when Skins came up, thank fuck I've been still following him online to see he changed like to Skins, because I was sat beside Rob. I was like, "Is this fucking Corvin with new music?" Then Skins came up, and if people go look at the clip on our socials, I don't think I've ever fucking popped as loud for anybody as much as I did for Haskins that night. Go on.
I can hear now. It's okay with you.
Yeah. I'm
You
done.
come back for outside. Well, I'm honourable mentions first. And my honourable mention is Drew McIntyre at Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Ooh, I actually forgot about that.
Yeah.
Because I was there. Men ran from the toilets and they heard the swords. And he did get a good pop.
Oh,
And he did. It was loud. But I don't feel it was as loud as this person. And that person for comeback of the year for me, for outside of Irish wrestling, is CM Punk.
Oh, I thought you were going to say John Cena.
No,
because he did it more than once and it pissed me off.
True. Yeah, fair. Yeah.
that's fair.
CM Punk's is a great show. Yeah,
I feel like
it is.
I feel like that. I honestly thought that was gonna be Carmo's as well. I thought like the three of you were gonna go Punk.
No. Punk for me, the reason I didn't do Punk, I was going to do Orton as well.
Because I don't like Punk.
The only reason, that's not actually the reason I didn't do it, was it was the end of the year. I don't know what factor that has to play in it, but that's the only reason I didn't pick it.
I think as well for me, Orton was round because they kept teasing and it never happened. And then when it did happen, you were just like, Orton's here.
Yeah.
Rob.
Yeah, so my comeback, so I'm going to start with the Irish comeback of the year. And for me, it has to be Terry Thatcher.
Yeah.
And that's the Hard Knocks show.
Hard Knocks.
And that, for me, it was just, because once that music came, I was like, who's this? Like, new music. And that comes out, and it was like, to me, it was like a spine tingling moment, for him coming back. And that's what it was going to be like whenever he returned at the local Rumble.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lift. The roof's going to lift off.
Yeah, exactly.
You took Martin's answer, by the way, just to let you know. I can see his reaction.
I thought no one would have it, and it was my favorite return. And my fucking honorable mention got taken too, so I've nothing.
Who's your one for outside of Irish wrestling, Rob?
So outside of Irish wrestling, so again, I had three in my mind type of thing, and two of them you kind of know, but for me, even though Tony said that he's come back a couple of times, but for me, the pop that he got at Money in the Bank for coming back, John Cena, for him being there, it was rumored that he was going to be there, but for the fact of seeing him live, and then him mention about WrestleMania in the UK, even just talking about it, it's like the hairs on my arm right now. They're like,
oh no, he had the crowd in the palm of his hand. But I have got a John Cena story for Money in the Bank. So I didn't know what was happening. I thought you were at a nap break, so I went to the toilet. And you hear there's like 30, 40 men in the toilet. Cena's music hits. There's 30, 40 men running out of the toilet with that lad in their hands, putting that lad's back in that toilet trying to get to their seats. I'm going into the wrong corner. I'm like, I stand here to watch this recording, not moving. In the wrong section, recording. Because it's Cena and you have to record Cena.
Yeah.
And we're all laughing because there's 20, 30 lads all in the one spot. Like, thank fuck we zipped up before we came out here.
So, obviously my Irish one has been taken. It was Terry Thatcher at Hard Knocks because that to me was just the best thing ever. Even Carmo, I think, did you say you'd seen him or you weren't expecting or something like that? But
so I had heard that he was coming back. It was announced to us by the new GM of Hard Knocks, who we're not going to mention.
Leonard.
I don't reason for not mentioning him. I just didn't know if it was like open
He's got
news.
more
That he
news
was
show,
That was one thing I was like, you little fucking bastard. Like, we were told that you were coming, and you were told you weren't coming, and I got really disappointed. And then he showed up.
I saw him before the show, so I knew before the show that he was coming back.
Because you had patted me and go like, record this.
Yeah.
Yeah, my honorable mention was Haskins at Rama, and my actual one was Terry Thatcher at Hard Knocks. Then my actual outside one, I kind of expected a Punk, and I really expected a Norton. So I said, because I thought, Rock has returned twice, Cena's returned twice, no one else really stands out to me. I actually forgot about Drew. So I went with the next best thing, R-Truth at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
I shit you not, it was in my mentions. I was so close to putting it.
I couldn't remember one from AEW. I could not remember a return other than Punk.
I looked them up and I couldn't find them. I couldn't find a meaty for like a good one that actually happened. Now there's probably loads, and if there is, please let us know down below because we probably forgotten them. But I couldn't think of one.
Like, you just cannot hate R-Truth. He's like a puppy. He's like a puppy. If someone kicks that puppy, you want to kill the person and kick the puppy.
Yeah.
That's what R-Truth is.
We all hate JD McDonough now. He is a
I
legend
think
here.
we're all here for an Austin Truth reunion.
I wish
It's happening.
I wish they would keep that going.
Awesome Truth for World Tag Team Champions.
It'd be hilarious. Especially now more than ever with the R-Truth we have now and the Miz we have now. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, the last time we had Awesome Truth, our heels getting arrested.
Back to you, Karen.
Next category is my phone's after locking, so 2 seconds. Next category, why is that after one weird? Is hardest working wrestler of the year. Someone who's had a fantastic year, just misses out on winning wrestler of the year. And we're going to go to Rob.
To be quite honest, this one was pretty easy, to be fair. And this is so now. I don't know if this was because if this was an Irish one or if it was just both again. So this one is a general one for me personally. It has to be Jay/Danny Cross.
Yeah.
It just has to be. Because I mean the year he's had, he's helped basically took over LJ's mantle of being the one who's basically took in the imports, had class matches with like Kenta and things like that, and having to work with Big Cool to partner up as your tag team partner. I mean, the work that he's had to put in for that as well. He's just had a phenomenal year, and as I say, he is one of the most hardest working guys out there, and he's one of the nicest guys out there as well. So that's why personally my pick is Danny Cross.
Yeah, like it, love it. Tony.
So my pick is a bit like Joe's booking lately.
Oh no.
You ask for something, we get something different. The person I think that just misses out on wrestler of the year and had a hell of a year, and probably for most part they had 5-star matches throughout the year, is Robbie X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside,
there's no disputing this, and if you dispute it with me, I'm coming through the phone and I'll bitch slap all you. It has to be Gunther.
Yeah.
God, it's really
Gunther has whoever he's wrestled, he's had great matches with. He's given Chad Gable a rebirth, which we've needed because we all know Chad Gable's a wrestler.
Yeah,
I went up with Gunther, and it was just a masterclass. Everything about it was so good.
now we just need Gunther versus Brock, and he's solidified.
Yeah.
Royal Rumble.
Fuck that! No, hell no! Give Brock an Intercontinental title match at Mania.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, Brock will come out and take Gunther out, and Gunther will take him out, and then
Set it up then for Mania.
Yeah. I'd go with that. Yeah.
Martin.
So my Irish one is definitely one that no one thought of, because when I was like, all right, who's done like really, really well this year and just missed out? This one, I thought, yeah, he deserves a mention. Is Owen Richards.
Owen Richards, yeah.
between the work with Andy Steele as the Saviors, whether that be in Fight Factory or the time they had an OTT, add that with his fucking work on RCW, it's been his year. It has been his year. And then outside, I mean, no one comes second place any more than Jay White. Jay White, look, he's had a fucking solid year. The match with Max was a bit 50-50, but look, that's a different story. But like, especially after the Continental Classic, like Jesus Christ, I feel like all the guys put their fucking hearts into that. So Jay White is my outside hardest working wrestler.
I like it. For me, for Irish, an honorable mention that I had was Francis Mercer, because I think he's had an incredible year. My actual one is Danny Cross.
Lads, I'm supposed to be the one that kisses his ass.
Yeah, well, sure, look. For outside, it's Gunther.
Ooh, another Gunter.
You've said it yourself. The match with Sheamus and McIntyre at Mania, he went from first to 30 in the Rumble. His matches with Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, his matches with Miz throughout the year, his matches with Chad Gable throughout the year have all been phenomenal. I think he's there for Wrestler of the Year for me, but he just misses out. He's been incredible.
What's the next one?
And can we just credit the shape that Gunter's gotten himself in?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like
he's
you think back,
the gimmick. He's literally living his gimmick, and I respect it.
Yeah, like you look back at from the images from JD McDonald, well, Jordan Devlin against Gunther, to what he is now. Incredible.
Can we just like put it into the universe that one day we'll get a proper Gunther versus JD McDonough in WWE?
Oh yeah,
it's going to happen.
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
Like someone just show Triple H the OTT matches and just say we need this.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I feel.
Also, I think Gunther ended 2023 by becoming a father.
He did.
Yeah.
The world.
Him and Jenny, yeah. Congratulations to him as well.
Mr. Carlo.
Incredible. I'm debating which one to go for next. We'll go faction of the year. And we'll start with Tony.
So, there's only one faction outside of Irish wrestling that could be faction of the year. And it has to be the Bloodline.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Just from the stories with Sammy to Jay to the user splitting up to them coming back, I think they've just gripped us all year long.
That's fair.
I think compared to what they did last year, to what they did or 2022, to what they did in the early parts of 2023, even into kind of the summer with like Money in the Bank and I presume it was Crown Jewel that was on in the summer in Saudi Arabia. Really kind of brought it all back in together. 2022, I thought they kind of fell out a little bit and it was kind of like going a bit stale. But coming into 2023, it was phenomenal. Great. Sorry.
And your Irish one.
There's no reward for guessing here. It is of course the draw.
Yeah. Can I just ask, who doesn't have the draw?
Exactly.
I do.
Yeah, I think everyone has the draw. There's only one faction that's run Irish wrestling this year, and that's
the FiveMarks.
That is the FiveMarks Pro Wrestling Podcast.
And if it wasn't for Trent fucking 7, Sammy would have left Scrap Armenia as Sammy 2 belts.
Yeah.
I wish you would have said that while he was just waltzing in the next day to the fucking meet and greet like 10 minutes later. Like, yeah, I beat your boy.
I did. I had to come with him because Amari was laughing like, haha, your boy lost his belt. And I said, haha, you'll lose no belt tonight. Ben just looked away and laughed and he's like, yeah, yes, he
did. Rob, what's your faction of the year outside of Irish wrestling?
So to me, again, this is quite close to be honest, but it has to be the Judgment Day for this year, for 2023. I mean, they've been on.
They have. Looking back at it, like they've had a really good year because they were the faction everyone snagged on when they took over from Ed, saying, "Oh, the stupid faction named after pay-per-view," and now they're probably one of the highest ranking factions in there at the moment.
Yeah, big time. And the fact that like
wonders for Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, and the fact you've got
for Dominic Mysterio.
and you've got two Irish people in that as well,
You.
which is
Mr. Beagle and Mr. JD.
exactly. Do you know what I mean? So it's Irish wrestling runs, and they're proving that it does. But they would be my non-Irish, well, yeah, faction of
Pop out.
Yeah.
Pop out.
Irish / non-Irish / Irish. Martin. Sorry, Rob, you're going to say something? Sorry.
Oh no, I was just going to say, obviously we all know we've all got the draw as the Irish. So
Yeah. Martin.
So mine again is different. My outside of WWE faction is the House of Black.
Oh, that's a good show.
Because I've loved the work of Julia Hart since she turned heel.
Wait. Julia Hart is just fucking incredible. She is saving that women's division in AEW at the moment.
100%.
She is saving the women's division at the moment.
I think the run with the trios title was fucking brilliant. I actually love as well that when they have the belts, they do the house. Like I thought that was only going to be for the trios title, but Julia's doing the same thing. I thought brilliant, love it. So, House of Black is mine outside of WWE.
To give an honorable mention, I was going to say Bullet Club Gold.
Bang bang.
Because I like what they're doing at the moment. But mine was also Judgment Day. I think to see where they've come with Edge and stuff like that, to where they've been, where they main evented nearly every episode of Raw for an 8-month period, or at least it felt like an 8-month period. I would have to go Judgment Day on that one. Breakout star of the year. And I'm going to go to Rob first.
Okay, so this was a really hard one to try and pick out from anyone from the non-side of, Irish wrestling.
If you say Rob again, I swear to God.
So for me, for the Irish one, is the Sam.
Yeah.
I think he's had a fantastic year, and considering his character and that, he's just got on with all the fans, not exactly the superstars, but with the fans at least, except until he puts people's eyes out. But the less said about that, the better. Per Josh, or Nikki, sorry, it was Nikki.
Josh turned into a Sam.
He did.
Which I don't actually know what's going to actually see that, so.
No one's going to see that. It wasn't recorded.
No, unfortunately not.
Again, a funny moment that people missed because they didn't go to Hard Knocks.
Because they didn't listen to the FiveMarks and tell them to buy their tickets and go to Hard Knocks.
Exactly. But yeah, so as a Sam for the Irish Breakout Star, that again the non one was a really tricky one, so it didn't really have anyone for it because it was really too hard to even think of who could be a breakout star for that.
I was the exact same. I didn't have anyone for a breakout star outside of Irish wrestling. I just put down my Irish wrestling one. My Irish wrestling one was Keane Noonan.
Oh, good show.
Tony?
So, the Irish wrestling one was Keane Noonan, but of course I came with a backup to thought we might have a few of the same. So, my safety net was Bittersweet Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's had a great year. He's a multiple-time GN champion, which is fast turning into 24/7 championship at this rate.
Yeah.
He's gone from taking tickets to being the ticket.
So
he's just had an incredible year.
Oh, sorry. What's your outside one then?
My outside one, I do have an outside one. And it was a little difficult, but I jumped into NXT for this.
Okay.
Because I thought this particular superstar, from where she started at the start of 2023 to how she ended it and how her character evolved, it just made the most sense. Tia Hale.
I had a feeling you were going to say Tia when you like NXT. Yeah, I completely agree.
Tia Hale for me, and just the character development from the sweet cheerleader to the all grown up, getting taken over the bad influence teenager gimmick was just really, it worked really well.
She's in her emo phase now.
With no one better to do it with than JC.
My Irish one was the Sam, because I feel like no one's had a bigger breakout year than him. If I was to give an honorable mention just because that one was taken, Ooh, there's one person I want to give it to, and Carmel knows who it is, but I can't right now. But he definitely deserves to be up there. I think
I reckon that person that you're talking about, I'm not going to mention names. I reckon when we do this same episode this time next year, I
It'll be
reckon
him.
he's going to be in. He's going to be mentioned in a couple of the categories.
So as my honorable mention to make up for the Sam being taken, I'm gonna go with Axel.
Great shout, Joe.
Yeah.
Fantastic shout.
I think Axel's had a great year. Obviously, again, people you don't get to see what happened, but go check out the interview. Got a bit screwed over there at the end of the year. Bit of a broken heart with his own teammate, but look, it is what it is. I warned him fucking months ago. So Axel, like, you think about what he's done. He's like traveled outside of Ireland. He's gone out on his own on OTT contenders. You know, it's been a great year for Axel. And then also, if you haven't watched the first PAV show with RCW with Axel on commentary, his one-liners are fucking gold.
Extremely good.
And then outside of Irish wrestling, I have an honorable mention because I thought this person would be taken, so I had a backup, and it was Dragon Lee.
Good shout.
But my main person, it's got to be Grayson Waller. Fresh off the SmackDown, he's just I fucking love Grayson Waller. That cocky, arrogant, just prick. And I think the promo he came out with and did with John Cena then at Money in the Bank was just fucking brilliant. So
it was really good.
Grayson Waller is my breakout star.
Good shout. I like it. Do you know what? Since we're on breakout, why don't we do wrestler to look out for in 2024? Who's the one wrestler? You can do both Irish wrestling and outside if you have one. Who's one wrestler that you think is going to like reach that top level in 2024? And we're going to start with Rob.
So, for non sort of Irish wrestler, and that I'm sticking with WWE because that WWE is basically all I know. I honestly believe Grayson Waller.
Yeah,
I really, really do. I mean, not just obviously because obviously he has had a good year this year, obviously with the promos, and he has had some injuries and stuff at the start of the year and things like that, which sort of plagued him a wee bit. But he's coming into his own a bit, and that, you know, yes, he's tag teaming up and things like that. But I think next year, I think you're going to see a bigger and better, or sorry, this year you're going to see a bigger and better Grayson Waller. I really do.
Yeah, like it.
For my Irish one, for, you know, who's going to have a big year. Now, if we're talking Irish wrestler, I would say this is really tough.
There's quite a few.
Now, let me see. Now, do they have to be Irish, or do they have to just be on from a show?
Just someone who you think is going to be someone to watch out for in the Irish wrestling scene, because they're going to be.
So in the Irish wrestling, right? Okay. So someone, I honestly believe Renzo Rose.
Great shout. Yeah,
I think 2024 is going to be huge for him because he's already All-Ireland champion with Hard Knocks at the minute.
We don't talk about that. That was heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was really
extremely heartbreaking.
It was. And as I say, he did win the Hard Knocks champion as well.
He did.
But as I say, I think
2 minutes and I think it was like 14 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, but let's talk said about that the better. But I think 2024 for Renzo Rose, yeah, it's going to be huge.
I got to go next for Irish wrestling. There's so many. Keith Newton, Boots, Josh, Mercer, the Steph Romanos, CBL as well. I don't think he's reached his full potential yet. I think he's got a big year coming. But I got to say Keith Noonan. I think we haven't seen anything of Keith Noonan yet, and I think for what he's going to do, hopefully in OTT for 2024, it's going to be huge. Outside of Irish wrestling, LJ Cleary.
Yeah.
LJ Cleary.
Get your Wrestling Universe subscriptions going. Watch that man over in Noah.
Yeah.
He's a good
Wait
looking
till you
guy.
see what he does in 2024. It's going to be huge, I reckon. Huge. Martin.
So I've actually done you a favor here. I've not only done who to look out for, I've done who not to look out for
Ooh.
in Irish wrestling. And that being Robbie Mack. And then, as you to who to look out for in Irish wrestling, straight off the bat, Santos. Seriously, keep your eye on
Prick.
that man. But one I thought of to keep your eye on, because he is returning to wrestling in 2024 and no longer the GM of RCW, Billy Bedlam.
Out, yeah.
So, but outside, I hope to God I took this one as well from you. Julia Hart.
Good shout.
That is my
Good joke.
watch out for in 2024 because she will be AEW Women's Champion.
Yeah, good shout. Tony?
Well, the Irish ones to look out for, given the year that he had just gone, and given the promotion he's been into, and the fact that he's the current reigning RCW champion, Richards.
Yeah.
I think
it.
he would watch next year. I think he's gonna get. I don't think we've, like you said with Kane. I don't think we've seen the best of Richards yet.
It's very true. And
I like
for
it.
outside.
For outside, there's a few.
Go on.
I just said Julia Hart if he hadn't said it ahead of me. I will stick in AEW because we've seen a lot of this person, but not enough of this person at the same time. Nick Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah, great shout. Very good
The
shout.
prodigy as he's being christened this past year.
The next in line for Christian Cage.
Very good shout.
Who else you got?
We're going to go for tag team of the year.
Oh.
And because I know he has him on the list, I'm going to go with Martin first.
So for Irish wrestling, BDE, I mean, like, they got toilet paper over. So
They did.
also the fact that no one has got custom like toilet paper of BDE on it yet and given it to them is shocker to me. And then outside, this comes as no surprise. It's just the top guys. It's FTR. Like every year it'll be
Rick.
FTR.
Cunt face.
Great shout.
I'm the FTR guy here.
It's a great shout. Rob, go on, head away while Tony's thinking of another one.
So Irish team of the year for me, because I've seen them quite a few times, and that with Fight Factory, it has to be the SOD, the Saviors of Destiny,
They were my backup.
because we all
Ah, Rob,
starting
fuck
to
off,
feel it.
boys. Fuck right off. You make a wish, Paul Heyman, frick you.
So who's
Yes, he said it on here.
So who's your outside?
So outside now, as I say, I did have FTR as being my top guys for outside of Irish wrestling. So with that being said, did have a backup just in case. And this one, because of the year they had, well, when I say year they had, it was more of a few months, I suppose, before things started to go a bit pear-shaped, was the Usos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good shout.
I mean,
Beat Roman during the year.
even now the two of them are fucking red hot. And they're not even a fucking tag team anymore.
Yeah, but as I say, they had, a good few months together before they decided to part ways as such and that. But hopefully one day they will form up again. And who knows? But yeah, they would be my two picks.
Good shout. For my tag team of the year outside of Irish wrestling, it's FTR. There's no if, buts, ands about it. It's FTR. It just is. No, I don't think any tag team outside of Irish wrestling has had a better year than FTR. Inside Irish wrestling, it of course is the tag team of the people, the most legitimate tag team in all, not even Irish wrestling, not even European wrestling, in all of professional wrestling, the Stepper Manos. Tony.
Well, you took both mine, so I do have a backup for FTR though. I thought you might all say FTR. And I think this tag team has had a hell of a year. And I think this is the year of this tag team. 2024 is going to be their year. The Creed brothers.
Yeah.
Fantastic shout.
Yeah.
I think the Creed brothers are going places, and watch out 2024 because there's a cannonball coming for you.
Yeah, it's a very, very good shout.
Who you got
Yeah.
for Irish
It's late.
wrestling?
As you could tell from me this time at Raw, I had the Saviors. And then we saved the net would have been BDE.
It's
Oh.
it's hilarious because I had BDE and Saviors as my save.
I have got a safety net to me saved the net if he'll accept the entry
Go on.
with Sam and Renzo Rose.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They won
Senzo.
championships.
The unlikely parent.
They won
Yeah.
championships, so it counts.
You like it? Yeah.
I just the top rope really well in 2023. The heel and the face, they rubbed off each other really well. Enzo, I think Renzo had it all filled when he gave him the belt and we thought he was letting him keep it, and then
Should have fucking lost that belt straight away. Oh.
I guess the leopard never changed his spots.
We're moving into our last couple of categories here now, but we're going to go for show of the year. So your Irish show of the year and your outside show of the year. I'm going to go first because I've said this on every single podcast since the show has happened, so no one else can take it. For outside of Irish wrestling, I went with WrestleMania Night 1.
That's fair, yeah.
Was a pay-per-view that really I enjoyed. Really enjoyed. You had the Charlotte and
Rhea.
her name is gone, Rhea Ripley match. You had the tag match between KO and Sammy against the Usos. Cena and Theory
was the best match of the night.
I believe the women's tag match was on that show, which was actually really good. So yeah, overall great show. Irish wrestling.
I wonder what it's going to be.
Hard knocks, hard luck. It is the best wrestling show.
Matt, calm down. Stop being rowdy.
Oh no, because I knew
He's
because that
always like
that was going to be my one, but I was like, nah, Karen was going to say it because it deserves to be said.
Yeah.
It's the best wrestling show I've ever been to. And I was at All In last year. I was at Clash of the Castle. I haven't been to many actual wrestling shows, but including early Irish wrestling shows, I've been to Clash of the Castle and All In. Hard Knocks, Hard Luck is the best wrestling show I've ever been to. Ever.
It's a solid statement.
Tony, because I feel like you're going to have something different.
So, from the outside, I went with this because the crowd was electric. The matches were really good. The heels did that job and pissed off the crowd. That heel, of course, being Mr. Money in the Bank, Damien Priest. So the show must be Money in the Bank.
Good shout.
I think the crowd was there for the whole show. It didn't go dead. It was electric. If it wasn't electric enough, Cena made the hairs in their body stand up.
Yeah.
Maybe gave us some false hope. Who knows?
Bastard.
You never know.
And
You
then-
never know.
There's a pattern forming here. And I've noticed it looking at me right out. So me show of the year in Ireland is again a Belfast show. It's the anniversary show in Belfast.
Ooh.
Interesting, yeah.
I think that whole weekend, that crowd was electric. The matches were electric. Damo broke it all over Corbin, which Damo deserves a barrel against for that. Fuck you, wiping your snot to me flag, you prick. It was just an all-out good show. I couldn't fault it. And I think it was needed after the clusterfuck that it was Coleman's Walls and the mass walkout that happened at the second night in Dublin during the Mox and BQ match. And I felt so bad for poor BQ.
Oh yes. I mean, like, we've got a free haircut, so you can't feel that bad.
Yeah, but I mean, how are you going to feel after Mox's entrance, looking around and half the crowd disappears out the door? It only was like the for the poor lad. And what was his biggest night?
To be the fair now, I will say, like, I felt like the same thing happened when Cardona came over. Once, like, if you go back and look at the crowd for LJ Cardona and then for the main event, it's I know people are missing out on the best bits, which is sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go on,
Yeah,
Cameron.
because
That's your two shows. Rob.
so again, as I say, my shows have already been picked. But they were going to be again. It was
Yeah, how was Rick?
so Money in the Bank was going to be my show there, but Tony got there first. So I did have a backup for for a non-Irish one. And that so the non-Irish show for me was no, I wasn't at it, but it was All In.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that, as I say, I watched it at home, and I thought every match was really, really good. And the show that they put on, and the matches that they had, and that you couldn't put a foot wrong with it.
Do you know what? Actually, being there live, it never felt like it kind of dragged at any stage. It just kind of felt like it kept going and going and going. You never kind of felt exhausted or out of it, you know, at any stage during that show. So yeah, I can see why you said that. Yeah.
I think it was a good show. I think the only bad match, and it's stupid to say because both these men put on great matches, but the only bad match for me of that show was Punk Joe.
Really?
Yeah.
I just felt it was sloppy as fuck.
That's actually one of my favorite ones.
I think for the crowd as well being there because it was the first match. No one cared.
Yeah.
It was the start of
Whoever the cameraman was for that first match, I hope Tony Khan sacked him because he didn't pull away from Punk blading. You could see Punk as clear as day on camera blading.
Yeah.
It was probably Tony that called for that camera.
He must have been wide-eyed the fuck at that point as well. So
by the
Sounds about right.
By the end of this episode, Carmel's going to have some sort of contract where it says, I can never mention Tony Khan on this podcast.
It's on the way. I'm getting the legal thing to look at it.
But yeah, so my Irish show again, so it was taken by Carmo as Hard Luck. But I'm going to stick with, so obviously it wasn't recorded, but it was, as I say, the recent Hard Knock show. If I'm honest, I would say would be show of the year, even though it was the last show of the year.
is that why it wasn't recorded? Because it was the last show, or is that just technical issues?
No cameraman, from what I understand. Their cameraman was on holidays. From what I understand, I don't know for truth, but from what I
How was
understand,
the cameraman going on holidays?
I don't know.
He's just not a Matthew Macklin. That's what the problem is.
Yeah.
One song hero right there.
But to be honest, it was a show that like for people to miss was incredible show.
Huge miss.
That Francis Mercer Steve Savage match was one of the best matches I've seen.
Yeah,
it was incredible. That's just a name one, you know, that kind of way. The Keane Noonan, Terry Thatcher, Sam and Scotty Davis, very good. The tag matches that were involved, the mix between the Freshness and Step Romanos, the mix between BDE and Stem and CJ West, really good.
Yeah, wasn't they?
I kind of just took your spot there, Rob. Sorry, I do apologize.
That's okay. It's okay. I allow that. I allow this one time only.
Never happen again.
But yeah, so yeah, as I say, that show, as I say, was definitely my pick for the show of the year, even though it was the last show of the year for Hard Knocks, and that can't wait for 2024 for Hard Knocks to see what they can do from here on in.
Love it, Martin.
So outside of Irish wrestling, I went with Backlash. Crowd was on fire for the whole fucking show.
Yeah,
Bad Bunny entrance. If we were to do entrance of the year, Bad Bunny would win. It was just an incredible thing. And now on Irish, I knew Carmen was going to go with Hard Luck.
I guess what you've gone for?
Yeah.
Was it a song in Guardians of the Galaxy?
No. Well, Hope That I'm Feeling, third place. This was second place. WrestleRama.
Yeah.
Between the show and after, it was just an incredible night.
Yeah.
Incredible night. So, WrestleRama was my Irish show of the year.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it.
From what I believe, always listen to Tony whenever it comes to going outside, and if there's anyone
always follow Dean.
Dean is
Hold on a second. It was Tony that walked out and went to Haskins first. The guy has to come out. Dean came out after me. It was Tony that started that.
It was you that walked off, and then Dean walked off. I was like, I made this mistake once, I'll never make this mistake again. Fucking walked over with you.
Incredible moment.
If there was a section for a statement of the year, it had to be when Jay Money and Joe walked out of the car park and he was like, these fuckers are selling gimmicks in the car park.
I fucking loved when someone asked him for a photo and he just goes, fucking pay me.
Unbelievable.
I'm back, so I'll give you Jay Money.
Feud of the year. And I'm going to start with Martin.
I mean, my Irish one's very, very easy because I've said it, since October? It's Raven Creed versus Reardon O'Connor in RCW. Fucking amazing rivalry. Just 3 absolutely fucking just 10 out of 10 matches. If you haven't checked out the Raven Reardon rivalry, I'm going to hope fucking promo for them up on the social media. So check it out. And then Brock versus Cody. I loved that rivalry.
For sure.
Loved that rivalry.
Yeah.
For sure. Tony.
So, me Irish rivalry, and I think Martin touched on it a few times already this episode. It was a year-long rivalry. It was hindered by injuries, but it was a solid rivalry nonetheless. Debbie and Martina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible shout.
Yeah.
And me outside, and I picked this because I had a feeling we were all going to go different ways with it. But it's another bloodline. It's the bloodline versus everyone, which is still currently happening technically.
Yeah.
It's been ongoing since 2020. It's a 4-year long one now.
It takes a special faction to feud with 20 different people and not get stale.
Yeah, it's one hell of a long storytelling, that's for sure.
I'm telling you, Mania is going to be all about the bloodline. They better give us Jerry versus Jimmy at Mania.
Oh, the bloodline's going to be forever.
Because they started and then stopped it and shipped them off to Raw because Cody wants to finish his fucking story. But guess what? You're not, because The Rock is back.
It's true.
There's rumors it could happen at Chamber instead.
You will be dead to me.
I don't
Rob.
Did you know I sent into the group earlier?
That's true, actually. I forgot that.
I'm staying away from you now, Tony.
Rob, shout.
So again, I've been chopping and changing, and Tony's already mentioned this one as being the Irish one of the year, but I'm actually going to go with Omari versus Sammy D.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that somebody would.
Yeah, I thought Emmett would have gone for it if he was
That's
there.
why I didn't do it. I thought Emmett was going to go for it.
I actually thought I'd give Omari the night off. That's why I didn't pick that one.
Basically, obviously, obviously Sammy winning the OTT championship and not off Omari, and then Omari having his rematch and things like that and stuff like that, and that continuing on as well from that going into the tag team tournament match as well that they had as well, sort of like whenever he was going to become the number 1 contender and then smashing Sammy D down. But as I say, Sammy D does not stay down, and he gets back up again and smashes Omari back down again. And so my non-Irish one, this for me is basically Bloodline versus the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Because I think the storytelling in it and part of it felt to me a wee bit rushed to get it in for the show that they got it in for. But I thought the matches that they put on for it and the way they told it, I thought it was really good story. The matches were really, really good. Some might say they lasted a bit longer than what they maybe should have done, but as I say, that's what good storytelling's all about. And as I say, this was one of the best ones in my mind for the year, considering the fact that, yes, it might have ended in the summer, but it still was a good part of the year that it took out of us. And the fans won with that one.
Yeah, no, it's an incredible shout. Very, very good shout. For myself, for outside of Irish wrestling, a feud that didn't necessarily last very long, but for the match that they had, it's worth it. Swerve and Hangman. I thought it was a really, really good rivalry. The promo they had before the pay-per-view as well was actually really, really good.
That's an match.
For Irish wrestling, I'm surprised nobody mentioned it. And it's a bit of a cop-out answer for myself because I never saw it live. I saw clips and stuff from afterwards, but it was just from hearing people talking about it. Saviors of Destiny versus Fresh Life. Yeah, the trilogy of matches that they had, especially that last one as well. But yeah, that's my feud of the year for Irish wrestling. Incredible match. Again, it's a slight cop out because I wasn't there for any of them, but from hearing people talk about them and seeing the clips from the matches, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Moment of the year. I'm gonna go to Tony first.
Did I get that one on the list he sent me?
Yeah, that was
Should have been. If not, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to it. We'll go with Rob first.
Okay, so this one was really hard to call, especially for an Irish side, because there was two. I'm going to give an honourable mention to the one that finished runner-up in a sense to me, was the women's ladder match as being a main event of an OTT show. That would have been my moment. Second, my first one is basically Sammy D winning the OTT championship at Scrappermania, becoming the Grand Slam champion, the first ever Irish Grand Slam champion in history.
I'd be surprised if not everyone at least thought of that. Not necessarily picked it because they might have thought a couple of people
I thought
would have
of
picked
it, but I didn't go with it because I knew somebody else would take it.
Yeah.
Moment of the year outside of Irish wrestling as such, again, it has to be Gunther's title run.
Yeah.
With the Intercontinental Championship. To me,
good show.
I mean, it's the fact that he's now the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in history, and I think that just speaks volumes for itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Tony, you ready?
So I've gone back to the list. It is on my list, but I somehow managed to skip it.
It's all good.
Must have been many moments of the year. Who'd have thunk it? But I'd have picked Sammy for moment of the year, being a Grand Slam champion.
Yeah.
And then for outside of wrestling, purely for the fields and the reactions, Sammy and Kevin winning the tag titles in the main event tonight, won the WrestleMania.
Great shows. Fantastic shows.
Yeah.
Martin.
So for Irish wrestling, as I said, I was gonna go with Sam, but I knew that if Emmett was here, he would have gone with it, or someone would have gone with it. For me, one of the most special moments this year happened at 9th anniversary, and it was Sam winning his first OTT title.
Yeah. GN title, yeah.
As someone who's seen him from beginning to where he is now, like that was I talk about fucking popping huge. I jumped out of my fucking seat after being shot with confetti by him. I was just so happy for Sam. So that's my Irish moment. My outside my outside wrestling moment this year was when a former WWE champion returned in Jinder Mahal. That was a great fucking spot.
Fantastic moment.
What a return. However, that's an honorable mention because
how dare you be disappointed in Martin's choices?
Just like that, just so people know as well, that's not my actual one. But can I just say the gasp that you hear when his music plays, because it went from
you could hear the penny drop.
Everyone was joking about it. Oh, it's gonna be Jinder Mahal. Imagine it's Jinder Mahal, and for it to happen, everyone just went
Do you follow any of the Instagrammers that they do reactions to it?
Yeah.
Wheezy Blonde's reaction was comical.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, it's gonna be Jinder." Then it was Jinder, and she's like, "I can't fucking believe this."
There's one guy, I can't remember his name. I watch him all the time on TikTok. He was like, "Oh God, I hope it's Jinder. I hope it's Jinder." I didn't mean it. I take it all back. I didn't actually want it to be Jinder.
TikTok, he is brilliant.
But my actual one, there's no fucking better moment. It started off the fucking year hot. Sammy turning on the bloodline. The roar was so loud, it broke the fucking, when you're working with audio and shit, once it goes over, once you think audio goes over a certain limit, it cuts out. They did that. They broke the fucking, the whatever the fuck it's called. I'm
the decibel level?
Possibly. I'm not technically. Tony will tell you that because everything he was saying to me yesterday was going over my head. It was just a crazy moment.
Very, very good. Two good answers. My moment of the year outside of wrestling, I've been racking my brain and I didn't actually write one down, so I'm going to give a cool moment that happened. Was Logan Paul and Ricochet jumping coast to coast on each other with crossbody.
Can I just ask? Okay, because that was a lot of people's moment of the year outside of FiveMarks and everything. What is so special about that moment?
It's something that we've seen before, but you'd never see that sort of stuff in a Royal Rumble match.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. No,
if it happened in a Money in the Bank match, if it happened in just even a fatal 4-way, even a singles match, whatever, grand. But I think it's just the fact that it happened in a Royal Rumble match. And I think the fact that it was Logan Paul as well. The fact that
that's
he's
fine.
not a wrestler.
I just wanted to know, like, the kind of I just wanted to know, like, what's the actual, like, thought of it, because, like, for me, it was just another, like, you know, clash spot, you know.
Yeah.
So that's fair.
Yeah.
That's completely fair.
Yeah, that's my thing. For Irish wrestling moment of the year, it's a little bit of an unfair one. And I was between two. One was Sammy winning the title, but I kind of knew everyone was saying it. The unsanctioned match at Hard Knocks Hard Luck. The feeling that entered that room as soon as those sirens started to play, and they told everyone to get back or go up to the balcony,
Up to the top.
and then those entrances and that kind of feeling of those three men standing in the ring. I've never, ever felt anything like it. The only other moment that I can honestly say that I have ever seen a shift in the room for a match was when Sam made his entrance at Scrapper.
Yeah.
Those two moments are the only two moments that I've ever experienced where it was just that change in the room.
And again, I
You've
just
entered into something
every
different.
time you have to say it, like, we're not over exaggerating the feeling. Like, everyone knew the match that was going to happen, but we, like, everyone's just kind of like, oh yeah, it's a fucking, you know, it's not a death match, but like it's enough a death match. But to have them come out and be told, could you please make your way to the top of the balcony or go back to the wall for your own safety, was just like a, what the fuck are we gonna see? And it all added up.
Changed the mood in the entire arena. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So good. Even if you watch it back, to be honest, you can feel it. You can still feel it. We've only 3 categories left. Moving into the third from last. It is female wrestler of the year. I'm going to kick this one off because I feel like mine are a little bit different. My Irish one might be the same. For outside of Irish wrestling, Toni Storm. I've been a huge fan of what she's doing.
You bastard.
Huge fan.
You bastard.
I didn't think anybody would say it. Genuinely didn't, because the latter
Toni
half of the year.
Storm has been the second best thing in AEW this year next to Julia Hart.
Yeah. I'm inclined to agree. And it's been kind of the second half of the year that she's kind of really come into her own. But I think what she's doing at the moment is phenomenal. The only person I feel that might have my Irish wrestling one is Martin, and that's Raven Creed.
No, she was my second place.
Yeah, I feel like the year that Raven Creed has had, like, obviously starting with OTT, what she's done in Hard Knocks and what she's also gone on to do with RCW has just been incredible. I know she fought in the UK as well throughout that period of time. Just been incredible. So yeah, they're my 2 female wrestlers of the year. We will go for Toni.
No, again, because I thought someone would have picked Toni Storm. I have a safety net.
Nice. Okay.
And my safety net is NXT once again.
I like it.
Has to be Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah, you fucker! Just because he took yours doesn't mean you take mine.
100%. We're all just robbing answers here, aren't we?
Oh Jesus!
I don't know how it became a thing that we all can't have the same answer. I don't know how that came about.
We all like to be special, okay?
Yeah.
We all like to be different. We're all on the tism.
Lyra's a fantastic shout, though. Incredible shout.
Oh, I mean, the year she's had and the matches she's had.
The aura she's created for herself as well in her entrance. Just where the people just go, woo! You know, in her fucking entrance. Just the fact that she can create that is crazy.
She's made it. Once someone sings her entrance, you've made it.
Yeah.
Me, for inside Ireland, sounds like we're in a prison. He may wrestle the year inside Ireland. For me, there's only one person, and that person has held my attention all year long. She had me fooled into thinking she was still the women's champion. That is, of course, the gal Debbie Keitel.
Just take both of mine. Like, cheers.
Yeah.
Not like as if one wasn't good enough. You just took them both.
Means we have great things, man.
To be fair, and this is no slight on anybody, we have a choice of about 4 Irish women to pick from. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, Debbie was a second for me, but Raven for me just pipped her. Rob, we'll go with you.
So my one, I'm going to go with non-Irish first, and it's going to be the current Women's World Heavyweight Champion, Rhea Mammy Ripley. I
Yeah.
think she's had a phenomenal
Good
year
shout.
with the Judgment Day, continuing to be what she is, and that. Considering from where she's come from to now, I think has been phenomenal. And I think there's still plenty more of her to come as well. Once she, I mean, if she breaks away from the Judgment Day down the line and that, out in herself again, she'll not get lost. She's too good.
Good shout.
She's too
She'll
good.
definitely have a big part to play in the Elimination Chamber because it's in Perth next month.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
She's
Oh, yeah.
she's one half of the face of the poster, so she'll definitely have a big part to play in that.
Oh yeah. I'll be surprised if there's not a women's elimination chamber as the main event and she's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they did for a title because usually it's to pick out who goes against whoever brand didn't win the Rumble at Mania.
Mm. But she would be my non-Irish. So obviously Irish one for me. This was between three, and I think the gals have to have an honourable mention in this between Debbie and Anita Vaughan. Honourable
Anita
mentions to
Vaughan
them.
can't have an incredible year this year. She's just
Yeah.
one to watch.
She
Yeah.
definitely, it's a big year for her this year. But my shout has to go out to the undisputed OTT Women's Champion, and that is the Session Moth, Martina. I think she's
100%.
had a decent year. Obviously injuries aside, I
But if a
think
decent year, all it takes to make it in your book.
well, it's a decent year, I mean. But yeah,
Look at
again,
you advocating for Martina. Yeah,
yeah, I
alcoholic.
mean,
Look, everybody fancies Martina. It's all right.
exactly. It's like hashtag fancies Martina. Like, you know what I mean? You have to. Do you know what I mean?
She's the
But,
cream in your coffee, so I'm told.
but no, she's she's been Irish through and through, like she's been OTT through and through, and that, and the fact that she's deserved to have that championship in that moment, especially with Debbie after the feud that they've had as well. I think that match, as I say, deserved to be the main event and what it was, and I think because of that, as I say, that's why she was my female Irish women's wrestler of the year.
Absolutely, 100%. Martin.
Well, I mean, might as well just not let people be left out. Just give a little shout out there to Anita Vaughan.
Yeah.
Yup, the AV.
But
Tell
yeah,
Andy out, lads.
mine were said. I literally had no backups or nothing because this is how big I was in the two of them. Debbie and Lyra have just had an incredible year. So
It's good shouts. It's great shouts. It's 100%. Like there's no arguing with either of them.
I'm also saying my answer is really quick because we're coming up to 2 hours and that's a long
Yeah,
recording.
we're gonna last two topics.
So let's go, boys.
We're going to have to fly through our last two topics. So our second to last one is male wrestler of the year, and we're going to go straight to Rob for this one.
So non-Irish wrestler of the year for me, it has to be Gunther. It just has to be. Again, like I say, the year he's had, and that defending the Intercontinental Championship, most weeks, and that, and putting on phenomenal matches as well. Pretty much 4 or 5 star matches each time. Phenomenal. Irish wrestler. So okay, yes, he's left the Irish scene for a bit, as we know. LJ Cleary. I think I think he has had a phenomenal year again, and I think 2024 is going to be huge for him. Whether it's overseas or somewhere else, as well. I think it's going to be huge for him as well.
Tony.
So, my Irish wrestler of the year is Sammy D.
Yeah.
I think when he started the year as the NLW champion, he finished the year as the OTT World Champion. So that's a statement in itself. And me outside wrestler of the year is Seth frickin' Rollins.
Good shout.
I think that man is just put on match after match, show after show. Rightly deserves that world title, and he's done it justice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Martin.
My Irish one comes as no surprise. It's Danny J. Cross.
Yeah.
No one has impressed me more than that man this year. He's had such a fucking year. Of just like he honest to God was my favorite GN champion because I felt like the GN championship when he had it was the workhorse title, putting on an absolute classic with LJ at Scrapper.
Yeah.
The stuff he's done with Barry has been super entertaining to watch. Joe, like there's just nobody like I've said so many times, nobody's come close to not only breaking out and being just an absolute star this year than fucking Danny. Like, yes, Sam is already up there. Sam is the champion. But for someone who's climbing that ladder, no one's done it better or fucking as good as Danny Cross has done this year. And then outside, to me, there was no other option. Once I saw this man live, I was like, yeah, he's the fucking GOAT. It's Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
Will Ospreay's had a fantastic fucking year. And it's gonna be, fingers crossed, even better this year than it was last year.
For me, Will Ospreay, 100%. I don't think there's anyone even in the conversation outside of Will Ospreay. For Irish, LJ Cleary, no limits wrestling champion, NLW champion, Fight Factory tag champ, RCW world champ, Hard Knocks world champion. It scripts itself, it writes itself, and then to go off and join Noah. Incredible year. It's LJ Cleary for me. Match of the year, and we are kind of tight for time, so if you can just shout out your answers early at this rate. We'll go with Rob first.
So this one, non-Irish, was Gunther versus The Miz.
Yeah.
Irish, again, Sammy D versus O'Mari, Scrapper Mania.
Good shout as well. Yeah. Tony?
So my Irish one was the triple threat number one contender match at Homecoming Night 3. Sammy D versus Trent versus Big Demo.
Great.
I forgot about that match.
Great.
That
Huge
was an
shout.
unbelievable match. I was standing for that whole match. And Sammy would back that statement up. I was front row standing for that whole match.
Actually, I forgot that. I might watch that one back.
The outside of wrestling match of the year, and I don't think any wrestling fan can dispute this, Ospreay Omega.
Which
Which
one?
one?
The first one.
Yeah.
Wrestling
I only
Kingdom,
just
yeah.
recently watched that there 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Second one was good as well, but the first one,
Fantastic.
the body shouldn't have been able to do.
This is like just. Actually, I'm not going to get into it because that'll take
Go on.
fucking ages.
Sorry,
No. Oh, perfect. I was going to talk about that, but no. So my Irish wrestling match of the year is the best non-scripted wrestling match I've ever seen in my life.
Great match.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Miko versus Jay at WrestleRama.
Great match.
5-star match. Has to be.
So my real match, because I knew that someone was going to say Sam versus Omari, but I had to give this one some love from that weekend as well. Sam versus Trent for the NLW title.
Yeah.
Great shout as well. Yeah.
And this one was said by Carmo earlier on, but not this one specifically. Hangman versus Swerve at Full Gear, the Texas Death Match. Holy fuck. That was that was just something else.
My favourite images from that match, it's Hangman spitting through his blood into the air like he's a vampire.
Yeah. Incredible. For me, outside of Irish wrestling, it's Ospreay and Omega at Forbidden Door. I went for. And for Irish wrestling, Sammy D and Steve Savage at Unbroken.
Yeah.
Fair shout.
Yeah.
Incredible match.
It was.
I now own the kendo stick from that match.
That is very true.
So,
but yeah,
huge shout.
unfortunately, we are a very, very long on time. So that has been our kind of best of 2023 in terms of categories or awards, whatever you want to put it. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope everyone liked it. Thanks to lads for coming on.
Whoa. We got one more thing to do here.
Oh, yeah, no, we're not done yet. I'm just
Okay.
saying thanks to everybody, yeah. But if you do have your own kind of categories or your own kind of matches of the years or anything like that, leave them in the comments down below on the YouTube and let us know. We might even bring them up next week and we'll talk about them.
Fair fucks. Now, before Christmas, we ran a competition for people to win one of these lovely t-shirts. It's fucking further back than I thought. One of these lovely FiveMarks t-shirts. So I cannot fault him here. He gifted the t-shirt. The Last, please, or sorry for whatever size is left. We actually don't know what size is left, which you're getting anyways. The last Step Hermanos t-shirt that Galacini has, and these t-shirts will, as far as he's told us, will never be made again. And as well, this signed copy, and this is not the one that Robbie Mack licked.
I have that one.
He has that one. A signed copy of the One Fall comic book made by Mr. Foxy Fox and Brian Maxwell himself. So you will win that as well. Ironically, he doesn't want the comic, so we'll probably give that away if he wins, but Brian entered the giveaway. Because he wanted the t-shirts. So I have put everyone's name. You're not going to see us now as I pull this on screen, but I put everyone's name on this wheel right here if I swap the screens real quick. So as you can see, everybody is here who's entered. We have Steffi, Haley, Brian. I wrote down bitch bracket Claire, but she gets the point. Dara, Jack, Wangums Guy, Gaza, Hogan, and Russell. And yes, I called you Wangums Guy. So good luck to everybody. Just so everyone sees that this isn't like rigged. We're not picking winners. I'm going to click it here. No problem at all. Carmo, you let me know when to go.
You can go.
And the winner is anyone but Claire. Anyone but Claire.
Please be me. Please be me.
That saves me a lot of hassle. It's Steffi!
Yay!
Steph, congratulations. You won the Steph Hermanos t-shirt, the FiveMarks t-shirt, and the signed copy of One Fall, thanks to our good friends Foxy and Brian. We will get those out to you as soon as possible. We're definitely
You're never getting them.
We'll definitely run another giveaway very, very soon, so check out for that. I was really hoping that someone that I know didn't win it, so I didn't have to go, oh hey, here you go. I don't like giving things to people I know. I hate all of you.
Well, congratulations, Steffi.
But congratulations, Steffi.
Congrats.
Do you know what sucks more is that she's like been given so much in terms of like Sem's fucking random ass snowman at the fucking beginning of last year, another fucking Sem thing. She's too fucking much. Carmo.
Yeah.
Should I share the news that I'm also?
You can do. Yeah, you can do.
So, I will. This has been fun. I've loved doing this best of 2023 thing. But going forward on the FiveMarks, I'm actually taking a step back from the FiveMarks podcast. Not the FiveMarks, but the FiveMarks podcast. Going into 2023, we have a lot of great stuff coming out for you guys and a lot of big, big plans. We have, obviously, the FiveMarks podcast here every week, every Saturday, 7 p.m., 6 p.m., GMT, which will now be this man's baby. He finally got his wish.
Get ready to hear a lot of me.
So Carmo will be running the ship for the FiveMarks podcast. I'll be doing the wrestling interviews as always, the show interviews as always. You've got the weekly controversies every Friday, 6 p.m. GMT as well, hosted by Tony and Dean. We're gonna have vlogs coming out from wrestling shows very, very soon as well. So there's a lot of content, and I am, I make all this stuff happen. So I gotta take a bit of a step back because just between fucking having to hold a job down and fucking everything, it's gonna be far too much. So you will see me on the FiveMarks. Carmo's gonna want me back at some point. He's gonna miss me.
Please don't go.
Good riddance.
It's going to become the Galacini podcast if you leave, and no one wants that.
Everybody wants that.
look his eyes light up as well. Yes, there's my
phone.
There's my
Galacini.
new
You ready?
He's been waiting. He's had Gal on speed. They're like, it's happening. It's now. Let's do it.
Hell, it's frozen over. It's happening.
But as I said, I'm not stepping away from the FiveMarks. I'm stepping away from the recordings every week. Just the FiveMarks podcast. You'll see me on the interviews. You'll see me on the interview shows. I will pop up whenever Carmo needs me because Emmett doesn't show up. I could be on Weekly Controversies. I could be on Retrorama. Who knows? But yeah, this is
essentially what he's saying. This is now the last episode of the FiveMarks podcast.
Well, this is where I'm handing it over to Carmo now.
Yeah, it's all on me.
No pressure.
52 episodes is all I have to do. I'll do them all next week. It'll be fine.
52 plus if there's any bonus ones like we did last year.
There's not going to be any bonus ones, I can tell you that. What I will say though for the weekly episodes is we will be kind of going back a little bit. So I'm going to be kind of talking about like upcoming shows. So next week's show, which I'm actually might be joined by Martin on, we never know. We'll be kind of talking about upcoming Irish wrestling shows, and we might be doing a couple of predictions for kind of 2024 in terms of Irish wrestling. Rob will probably be with me on that one as well. Tony, you're more than welcome. Dean, if he's around. And after that, it'll be kind of like I'll be talking a lot more about like Raw, SmackDown, AEW, maybe even a little bit of New Japan, NXT, that sort of stuff. And it'll kind of be linked in and out from there. And there will be a couple of topic episodes. Might bring back a couple of quizzes. You never know.
Could be some
We love a good
guests.
thing.
Could be some guests. You could be listening
Yeah,
to
there
this
might be some
podcast
guests.
right now.
You never know. You never know. I'm going to bring in a couple of people that will be able to go through some stuff. But yeah, a lot of things to look forward to.
So yeah, that's look like 2023 was a great year for us. As we said, 2024 is going to be absolutely brilliant for what we know that we have coming up. You guys are going to fucking... One, you're going to love it. And two, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that they got that. So, like, look forward to it. As I said, check out the FiveMarks Podcast every Saturday, 6 p.m. Where am I getting 7 p.m. from? 6 p.m. GMT. And the weekly controversies as well every Friday at 6 p.m. GMT. If you haven't checked out the newest episode, check it out. I will say as well, that is, search it on Spotify. On Spotify, if you're listening on Spotify, it is called the FiveMarks Weekly Controversy. There should be a link on our, what's it called? Our socials. And as well, I want to do this because they were so incredibly kind when I reached out to them and so fast response. But we got, as you all know, the FiveMarks Podcast has always had We Come in Pieces, We Had You at Hell. It will always have.
We never showed them enough love as well. There should be an interview with them coming up at some stage this year.
Exactly. It was planned for last year, but just times just never clicked. But I want to give a shout out to Red Sun Alert, who are a band from Cork. Who I said, hey, we need a sound that just screams weekly controversy. 5 minutes ago, this is the song. It was absolutely perfect. Reached out to them. I think it was 10 minutes later. They were like, hell yeah. We'd love for you guys to use our stuff. So Red Sun Alert, thank you so much for giving us your song. If you guys want to check out the video I made, you're on the socials, you are more than welcome to go check it out. But the song Sorted Out is the official theme song to the weekly controversies. So even Tony, you heard that song, you went, yes, that.
No, yeah, it was, yeah.
So, again, thank you to them. And again, thank you, We Come Pieces, for the song we've had the whole time. We'll have probably the entire time. I don't plan on changing the FiveMarks Podcast theme. So, but yeah. Any last words, Carmo?
No, I'm just sick of talking at this stage. I'm only joking. It's been 4 weeks that we haven't done this. I don't know what to say at this stage. I'm kind of like, it is what it is.
What's the social?
Tony, quick plug for weekly controversies.
You get to see my beautiful. Well, you're on YouTube. You get to see my beautiful face, and not you get to hear my beautiful voice. And if I don't get us cancelled completely, you'll see me on the FiveMarks Podcast every once in a while.
Absolutely, Rob. You've got 30 seconds to promote whatever you want. I know you've got your own podcast as well.
Yeah, so as most people know, I do have the podcast called The Golden Nugget as well, which I do a YouTube short as well, and that which is up every week. And that basically talk about football, talk about wrestling, and that, and anything that you'd like to talk on the podcast as well. Yeah, and obviously part of one of the best podcasts in the world, FiveMarks, because that's where the place is.
The world is a bit of a stretch, but okay. We do appreciate it.
Martin, I think it was under. It wasn't stretch enough.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe. I was going to let you ring out the show because it could be one of your last. Well, it's not one of your last. We might take a break.
Yeah.
But you are going to be on next week's show, and that I know for a fact because we do need you.
So
next week
you're going to make me the Ric Flair of the FiveMarks. Here, lads, I'm retiring. next week. How you doing, lads?
That's why I didn't let you do it. I was going to let you do the exit for this episode.
Next week will be next week we'll make it. That's my final one for a bit.
I'm gonna make you do it next week. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to the FiveMarks Wrestling Podcast. Oh yeah, go on, fire away.
He's so out of rhythm.
I'm gonna need to learn these, by the way.
Follow us, FiveMarks. I'll write them down for you. FiveMarks Pod on TikTok and X or Twitter, whatever the fuck you want to call it. FiveMarks Podcast everywhere else. Go follow Weekly Controversies on Twitter and TikTok.
Instagram and TikTok, I think.
Oh, sorry, Instagram and TikTok.
On Twitter and TikTok.
There you go. Weekly Controversies, literally Weekly Controversies. That's the ass for them. Go follow the guys over there to keep yourselves updated on all the stuff that Tony and Dean have coming out for that too. But yeah.
That seems to be it. And if you happen to see Emmett in the wild, do send us a picture and make sure he's alright.
Oh my god, we should make wanted signs on milk cartons.
We should get them on all milk cartons.
It writes itself. It writes itself.
We'll talk about this on next week's episode. For another week, we have been the FiveMarks Podcast, and we are officially ding, ding, done.